Hello dear students, welcome back to your social science class. Today we'll be starting off with a new chapter, chapter 4, that is India, our country. Now, before I go to chapter 4, I want to finish some few points that I've left out in the previous class, all right? In the previous class, we have read about disasters, all right, the disasters of the world, and I have explained to you about all the points. However, in the last part, there were some points about safety, okay? Safety and a team called the disaster management team. So whenever these disasters, whichever take place, like the landslides, the earthquake, this disaster management team, they used to come and they used to provide help. Help in the form of food, it could be medicine, or it could be a shelter, okay? A temporary shelter, all right? And then in order to save ourselves, the first thing we need to do is we need to save ourselves, right? Because the help cannot come immediately, right? So some of these safety rules are, you will find it in page number 21, okay? So take for example at home, okay? At home, whenever any fire break out, we need to follow some safety rules like we should not go near those fire, like wherever the fire has broken out, better stay away from there and try to find a safer place, or also you need to go out and then you try to save yourself, okay? The first thing you need to do is, instead of hurrying yourself and picking out those things at home, better try to save yourself. That will be the safety at home. And then whenever this disasters takes place outside the house, then you need to follow some safety rules like, say for instance, an earthquake, okay? So whenever there is an earthquake, you better stay away from the electric poles, or better stay away from the buildings and the trees, okay? They may be more dangerous, all right? And then whenever there is a volcano, better try to alert your neighbors as well and vacate yourself from that area and go to a safer place until that volcano erupts, and whenever it calms down you can come back, all right? So these are the safety rules that you can follow at home and outside, all right? So now let's start with the new lesson, that is chapter 4, India, our country, okay? So in India we have 28 states and 9 union territories, all right? So for this lesson, I'm going to use the map and I'll show you the locations, all right? Okay, so this is our India map, okay? And in India map, first, in order to know the locations, you have to know the 4 directions, okay? And the 4 directions are north, that is the top part, the south, that is the bottom, the west, that is towards Gujarat, and you have east, that is West Bengal, and we have Jharkhand, okay? So we have 4 directions, and if you know the directions, you will be easily able to locate, or whenever somebody tells you the location, you can easily find out in the map if you know the 4 directions, okay? So here we have 2 types of map, okay? One is the political map, and the other one is physical map, okay? The physical map will show you the mountains, the valleys, the rivers. However, this political map will show you the countries and the states inside the country. It will show you the capitals of these places. So, as I said, we have 28 states, okay? All these are states. We have 28 states, and then on some parts we have union territories, and altogether there are 9 of them, all right? Now, you can turn to page number 25 in your textbook as we are starting with a new lesson. And in page number 25, you will see all the list of this 28 countries, and then the capitals are also mentioned there, all right? Now, here in these 28 countries, in these 28 states, all of them have capitals, okay? Like for example, the capital of West Bengal is Kolkata, all right? Towards the east, okay, I'm right here. Then the capital of Gujarat is Gandhinagar, okay? Then we have Karnataka, Karnataka is right here towards the south. The capital of Karnataka is Bengaluru, and then the capital of Tamil Nadu is Chennai towards the bottom, okay, that is south, all right. And apart from these 28 states and 9 union territories, we also have 2 seas. One is the Bay of Bengal, okay, whichever is colored with blue, those are the water bodies, okay. So we have Bay of Bengal towards the east, and we have the Arabian Sea towards the west, okay. Then we also have 2 islands. One is the Andaman and Nicobar Island, and one is the Lakshadweep Island towards the west, okay. So remember, we have 4 directions: north, south, west and east, all right. So the top part is north, the down part is south, towards Gujarat is west, and towards Jharkhand and West Bengal is east, okay. Now coming to the northeastern states, all right. Now see, since this is north and this is west, this is north and this is east. So from the north till the east, we have in these directions we have the 7 and the 8 sisters of northeast India, right. So the states here are Sikkim, we have Nagaland is here, we have Mizoram, Meghalaya, all these are under the 8 sisters of northeast India, okay. And then some of these areas, whichever is very close to the water, those are the coastal regions, okay. Those areas, like we have Chennai, then we also have West Bengal, we have Mumbai, okay. All these are the coastal regions, okay, because they are very close to the river areas, all right. Sorry, the seas, okay. They are very close to the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. That's why it is known as the coastal regions. And these coastal regions, they are very fond of fishing because they have water sources, right? And they also use the waterways for transportation, okay. Now coming to the union territories, all right. Now the union territory, I'll start with the first one, that is Delhi, okay. Delhi is towards the north, all right. Now Delhi is a union territory and also it is the capital of India, all right. Now here in Delhi, our Prime Minister along with his colleagues, they live here, and the main office of India is also located here, okay. And whatever decisions they make for the whole country, they have a meeting right here and they live there, they stay there, and then whatever meeting is precise or whatever meeting is done, then only it is passed on to other states of India, okay. And then in Delhi, we also have a lot of historical monuments and buildings like the Red Fort. In Red Fort, you can have a look at page number 27. There is this Red Fort, and we also have the Lotus Temple. We have some old monuments like from those Mughal times, right? So all these are located here. We also have Qutub Minar. So all these are located here, and it is a very famous tourist site also, okay? Especially when you are very interested in historic monuments, you can go and have a visit, all right? Then apart from this, we also have the India Gate, and also we have the Jama Masjid, and there are even more, all right? Now coming to Puducherry, okay? Puducherry is very close towards Chennai, okay? Chennai is towards the south, right? So if you go a little higher than Chennai, you will see Puducherry, okay? So it is another union territory. So here in Puducherry, the capital is Puducherry itself. Earlier it was named as Pondicherry, okay? But now it has been renamed as Puducherry, and it is also one of the union territories of India. Now here in this place, the well-known places, the famous places are the Botanical Garden, we also have the War Memorial, the Gandhi Square, okay? And we also have Aurobindo Ashram, okay? And this Puducherry, it is also very close to the water areas, so it is a coastal area, right? Then next is Chandigarh, all right? So if you want to locate Chandigarh, you can go upward to Delhi, you will see Punjab, right? So Chandigarh is also the capital of Punjab and Haryana, okay? They both share this Chandigarh as their capital, and also it is a union territory, all right? Now, in Chennai, in Chandigarh, what happened is it is known as a beautiful city, okay? And in 2010, it was also awarded as the cleanest city of India, okay? And it is a capital which is shared by two states, that is Punjab and Haryana, all right? Then coming to the next union territory, that is Andaman and Nicobar Island, okay? Now Andaman and Nicobar Island, for that you have to go down towards the Bay of Bengal, and then you will see this Andaman and Nicobar Island. So when you look at this island, you can't even imagine that there will be 570 islands there, right? But however, when we go closer to that island, there are 570 islands, and most of these islands are also inhabited by the tribal people, okay? And here, since it is surrounded by the water bodies, it is an island, right? And then Andaman and Nicobar Island have two capitals, okay? One is Andaman and one is, for Andaman it is Port Blair, and for Nicobar it is Karnikosar, okay? So there are two capitals, one for Andaman and one for Nicobar, all right? Then coming to the next union territory, that is Lakshadweep. For Lakshadweep, you need to go south, okay? And from Kerala, you can see the Lakshadweep clearly, all right? So Lakshadweep is towards the Arabian Sea, right? It is very close to the Arabian Sea, and we have Lakshadweep here, okay? So comparing to this Andaman and Nicobar Islands, this Lakshadweep, the islands are more scattered, okay? They are far away from one another, right? You can even see here, it is more scattered comparing to the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, okay? And then the people here in Lakshadweep, they're also very fond of fishing, and most of the people, they do fishing for daily livelihood. Like they will go and they will do fishing, and then they will sell off the fishes and they will make an income money with that, all right? So that is the main occupation of the people living in Lakshadweep, okay? And the capital of Lakshadweep is Kavarati, all right? The next one is Daman and Diu. So in order to find Daman and Diu, you need to come towards the west, that is towards Gujarat. Come down and you will see Daman and Diu, okay? So here, Daman and Diu, it is also another coastal area, all right? And then Daman and Diu, people living in Daman and Diu, they can either speak Gujarati because they are very close to Gujarat. They can also speak Marathi because they are very close to Maharashtra. And once this area was also inhabited by the Portuguese, okay? Portuguese are the people from a country called Portugal. So they were inhabited by Portuguese. However, later on, they fled and they went back to their own country, and it came under India, all right? The same thing with Dadra and Nagar Haveli, okay? Oh, and by the way, the capital of Daman and Diu is Daman, okay? Now coming to the next union territory, that is Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Now this Dadra and Nagar Haveli is below Daman and Diu, and it is very close to Daman and Diu also. And like Daman and Diu, it is also close to Gujarat, Maharashtra, and the Arabian Sea, okay? So the people here, they also speak Gujarati, they also speak Marathi, and they're also fond of fishing, okay? Then coming to the next union territory, that is Jammu and Kashmir. Now to find Jammu and Kashmir, you have to go to the top part, that is the north, okay? Here, Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir is a very beautiful place, okay? Because there are lakes, there are seas, even the mountains are fully covered with snow and ice during the winter. Sometimes some of the mountains are covered with this snow and ice for the entire year, okay? Depends on the weather, all right? And in Jammu and Kashmir, the people, the lifestyles of people are very different, okay? They are very interested in art and craft. It is said that whenever it becomes very cold, they just stay inside the homes doing some art and craft, and then whenever the weather is pleasant, they will come out and sell off, okay? They also make carpets, they also make shawls, and then the people in Jammu and Kashmir, they live in both houses, okay? So since they have lakes covered in most of the areas, they make houses just on the boats, and then the whole family lives there. And whenever the weather is pleasant enough, they come out from their boat houses and they do their economy, all right? So that is the special thing about Jammu and Kashmir. And many people also love visiting this place because of the beauty, all right? Then the next Union territory is Ladakh, okay? Ladakh is just close to Jammu and Kashmir, all right? And the capital of Ladakh is Leh, okay? And I forgot to mention about the capital of Jammu and Kashmir. The capital of Jammu and Kashmir is Jammu and Srinagar, all right? Then the people of Ladakh, okay? Ladakh, most people like to visit this Ladakh because of the mountains, okay? And then it is also very beautiful because of the lakes, because of the sea. And though it is not as rich as the other states, still the beauty and the economic is suitable for their union territory, all right? So that is also one of the tourist spots. Now, coming to the 28 states, okay? I want you to read, I want you to be memorized with the capitals of each and every states that are there. It's in page number 25. Like you have to know that the capital of Andhra Pradesh is Kadapa, okay? The capital of Karnataka is Bengaluru, and the capital of Gujarat is Gandhinagar, I've also mentioned, all right? And then the capital of Rajasthan is Jaipur. Likewise, you have to know the capitals, okay? And these capital cities are the main commercial cities for them, okay? Like whatever crops are produced are mainly coming from the capital cities. Though the other parts of the state also do the cultivations and agriculture, yet in order to produce the finished goods, in order to produce clothes, or in order to produce some things that could be used at homes, they depend on the capital cities, and they are the commercial cities, all right? Now, I will go back once more. We have 28 states and 9 union territories, okay? And the capital of India is Delhi, okay? Delhi is right towards the north, and our Prime Minister, along with the other colleagues, they live here, they have their meeting here, and whatever decisions are to be made, they make from here, and then only it is passed on to the other states of India, all right? Then coming to the 9 union territories, I've mentioned about 9 union territories, and all these union territories have their special features, okay? And they also have their own capitals as well, okay? Now, these 28 states and 9 union territories, they all combine together and they form unity in diversity, okay? So India has a unity in diversity. Diversity means the differences, right? So we have 28 states and 9 union territories, and all these states and union territories have different cultures. They have different religions also. Some of them follow Hinduism, while some follow Christianity. We also have Muslim, Sikhism, Buddhism, right? So they have different religions. They also have different cultures, okay? Different religions follow different style of praying or different style of celebrating their festivals, right? And then they also have different norms, like the eating habits are different. Some of them, they like to have fish, while some of them like to have pork, right? While for some other states, it is undesirable, right? So there are so many differences in this 28 states and 9 union territories, all right? So despite the differences, though there are so many differences in India, still we live in one place as the citizens of India, right? That is why India is known as the unity in diversity, okay? So that's all for today. I'm sure you have learned a lot about the directions and also about the states and union territories of India. In the next topic, I'll come up with a new lesson and let's learn more, right? Thank you so much.